Finally, we've got some actual substantial Denver Broncos news. But before we talk about that, guys, I want to shout out the affiliate partner for today's video, Green Gridiron Helmets. Use code DENSYN, DENSYN, link in the description below to save off your first purchase on authentic NFL helmets. From small replicas like this one behind me to full-size authentic helmets, they have it all. Again, that is code DENSYN, DENSYN, link in the description below to save off your first purchase from Green Gridiron Helmets. Thank you so much to them. And now back to your regularly scheduled content. I want to go ahead and bring in this tweet from Parker Gabriel of the Denver Post. Per the NFL Transaction Wire, the Denver Broncos are citing tight end Caden Priestcorn for their second week of OTAs. In a corresponding move, they have waived tight end Cole Fotheringham with an injury designation. So clearly, Fotheringham must have gotten injured at some point last week. The Broncos needed another body in the tight end room, and Priestcorn is actually an intriguing prospect. He was a guy who was coming out of the draft this year. I didn't get a chance to evaluate too much of his tape. I saw a couple of highlights here or there, and he looks like he could be an intriguing prospect. He certainly has the build to play the tight end position. 6'6", 246 pounds. So maybe if you were to add just a few more pounds onto him, he would be like the ideal build for a blocking tight end. So I would have no issues at all if Caden Priestcorn were to be able to make an impact with the Denver Broncos. You look at his statistics, shout out to his Wikipedia page for actually being good, one of the rare ones out there that's actually decent. His best season came, it looks like, in 2022 in terms of receiving yards. 13 games played, 48 catches, 602 yards, and 7 touchdowns. That was his final year at Memphis. Really crappy year to come into college. 2020, that was obviously the COVID season. Then 2021 looks like was, in essence, a redshirt year for him. He did play in 12 games, but barely got any action. So his first year of actual playing time was 2022 when he broke out. Then he ends up transferring to Ole Miss, and he didn't have quite as much production in terms of actual receptions, but his yards per catch went up. 15 yards per catch in 2023, and then 14.9 in 2024. 4 touchdowns in 23 and 3 touchdowns in 24. Looking at his pre-draft measurables from his pro day, just under 6'6", 246 pounds, 33-inch arms, 10.5-inch hands. So overall, that's not really something you won't really pay attention to, that you'll really pay attention to at that position. You'll more pay attention to that at the quarterback position, actually throwing the ball. 4.78 40, so not going to blow you away there. You look at his 3 cones, 7.19, not the best in the world. 31-inch vertical jump, 8'11" broad jump, and 18 reps on the bench. So at the end of the day, he's going to get a chance to come in here and compete. The Broncos already brought in a developmental tight end that they really like this offseason in the draft in Caleb Lohner. So I don't know if Priestcorn is going to have a chance to make the team be on the practice squad, but the Broncos need more bodies in that tight end room that can actually play the traditional inline tight end role, not the big slot role that Evan Ingram plays. So yeah, man, this is definitely something that the Denver Broncos, you're just going to throw more darts at the board at this position, and maybe one of them will hit, and the Broncos can eventually find their inline tight end of the future. Will Caden Priestcorn be that? I don't know, but he's going to get an opportunity to come in here and compete. So let me know in the comment section below, guys, how do you feel about the Denver Broncos bringing in Caden Priestcorn, and do you think that he's going to have a chance to make this team in any capacity, active roster or practice squad? Drop those comments down below, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts, as always. As far as the scheduling for OTAs is concerned, they were back out there practicing today, but the media isn't out there. So we're not going to get any reports coming out if the media is not out there. The media will be out there on Thursday, so that's when we'll be getting a lot more substantial information, highlights, pictures, all of that stuff. We'll hear from Sean Payton. We'll hear from players. That stuff's all going to happen on Thursday when the media is there. But when the media is not there, you're not going to get anything beyond maybe a picture or two coming out of Broncos OTAs. So that's just the way Sean Payton does things. I know that some fans are frustrated with the lack of content that comes out when you have a bunch of other teams that release full-blown highlight reels from OTAs and stuff like that. The Broncos just don't want to release that information out on social media where their competition can see it, yes, but more importantly, they don't want to be a team that thrives off of social media hype. The 2022 Nathaniel Hackett Broncos were all about that. They were full-blown, cameras all in, all exclusive access to what was going on in these off-season activities, and it ended with the Denver Broncos having one of the worst seasons in franchise history. So, at the end of the day, I would much rather have limited access to content in OTAs and minicamp in this time of the year, and have a winning football team as opposed to getting access to the stuff now and having the product on the field be crap come the season. So that's just my opinion on it, Broncos country. I know some fans are frustrated, but that's the way that Sean Payton has always operated, dating back to his time in New Orleans. All right, guys, and until next time, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.